Now on WRDE Coast TV.
Police arrest a man with an active warrant, how they found him, and what led to his arrest.
Beach Patrol in Bethany Beach are celebrating 90 years of service. Find out what the Beach Patrol thinks of this milestone and what beachgoers think.
Flooding in Bethany Beach earlier, details from the Bethany Beach Volunteer Fire Company.
Well, the rain has wrapped up. I'll recap just how much rain fell today, coming up in just a few moments.
From the beaches to the bay, coverage you can count on. WRDE Coast TV. Your local news at 11 starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Britt Leone. Welcome to Coast TV News at 11. Let's start tonight with flooding in Bethany Beach earlier. I want you to take a look at these photos. Heavy rains from earlier actually flooded the Bethany Beach Volunteer Fire Company's station. The station says they saw a lot of flooding in the area and they warn people to be cautious. But let's take a look at how the weather looks right now. We're taking a live look into Ocean City with our Gateway Subaru cam, and it is the calm after the storm, a beautiful night. Our first alert meteorologist Alex Seymour joins us now. Good evening, Alex. We don't expect to see any more storms tonight or tomorrow.
Yes, certainly. No more storms tonight, and we're really not expecting much in the way of any thunderstorms during the daytime hours of Monday. We could see some more storms Tuesday, but nothing in comparison to what we saw today, where some areas dealt with some significant rainfall that resulted in significant flooding. Right now, though, pretty dry out there. The storms are going out on our Dry Tech environmental camera at the Ember Center in Ocean City. Pretty quiet conditions this evening in OC. 75 degrees at this hour. Satellite radar picture, pretty quiet out there. The rain's gone, the clouds are gone. We're going to continue with the clear skies overnight. It's a good thing that we've started to dry out. Take a look at some of these rainfall totals. Over 6.5 inches of rain fell in Bridgeville. I've seen unconfirmed reports of 7, 8, 9 inches of rain in portions of Greenwood, Bridgeville, and Seaford. That resulted in significant flooding in Greenwood today. Milford, close to 5.5 inches of rain fell. Close to 5 inches of rain fell in Seaford. Bethany Beach, a little over 4.5 inches of rain. That's what caused that flooding there at the Bethany Beach Volunteer Fire Company this evening. Over 2 inches of rain in Ocean Pines, and 1.18 inches of rain fell in Rehoboth Beach. We're not going to pick up any more rain tomorrow. Tomorrow, well, it's just the sunshine's returning. UV index forecast brought to you by Face of Grace Practice Sun Safety. UV index of 9. So if you are heading outside, spending any time outside, if you are heading to the beach, make sure you're wearing that sunscreen. Make sure you limit that time outside, especially during that peak sun, 10 a.m. to about 3 p.m. burn times. It only takes about 15 minutes to burn. Our beach forecast for tomorrow looks pretty great. Low to mid 80s on Aztec Island. Pretty similar scene in Ocean City and Fenwick Island, where we're climbing up into the mid 80s with close to mostly sunny skies. And then in Lewis and Rehoboth Beach, climbing all the way up to 86 degrees tomorrow afternoon in Lewis.
A cause for celebration that brought generations of lifeguards to Bethany Beach this morning. The Beach Patrol is celebrating 90 years of service. Coast TV's Carmen Holland shows us the legacy of the Beach Patrol goes beyond what happens on the stands.
There have been lifeguards on the stands in Bethany Beach for 90 years. And some would say,
to put it simply, it's the best job in the world.
Present-day lifeguards and lifeguards of the past came together to commemorate the occasion with a group photo.
So it is very special to have the older guys from, decades ago coming back, swap stories and just hear how it was back then.
Then a special group in and out drill, used in training, and it conjures a sense of pride, as the lifeguard's goal is to get past the waves fast enough to get to the person in distress. But lifeguards coming together is nothing new for the Beach Patrol.
These guys, they work out together every day. They train together every day. A lot of them live together. The tradition of just being together and being a team, that started long before I got here.
The Bethany Beach Beach Patrol has never had a drowning when there's been a lifeguard on the stands in their 90 years of service. They take pride in that, and they also take pride in their traditions.
I started here in 1993. A lot of the alumni who taught me how to do this job, once upon a time when I was a teenager, those same values that hopefully we've been able to pass down generation to generation.
As a team, the Beach Patrol never forgets why they do what they do.
We've built up a pretty good reputation of safety over the years, and it's something that our beachgoers, our renters, our residents have come to expect, and we need to meet that.
For some who have made Bethany Beach their own family tradition, there's nothing but well wishes.
Keep up the good work. Thank you for keeping me safe for the last 20 years and the next 20 years for my kids to come.
And if you're looking for a lifeguard in Bethany, you won't have to go far. In Bethany Beach, I'm Carmen Holland, Coast TV News.
Earlier this evening, the Beach Patrol in Bethany Beach hosted a celebratory dinner at 6:30 p.m. at the VFW in Ocean View. Police arrested a man last night after he was stopped for using his cell phone while driving, but taken into custody for other offenses. 35-year-old Frank Lovett of Milford, Delaware, was the man arrested. Police say around 5:30 p.m. yesterday, an officer saw Lovett using his phone while driving. Police say the officer initiated a traffic stop on Main Street in Dagsboro and found Lovett had an active warrant due to a drug dealing case. Lovett was then taken into custody. Town officials of Dewey Beach are considering an ordinance for teenagers, as well as taking a look at the penalties that would incur for breaking it. This comes just over a week after several coastal police departments reported concerns over rising illegal teen activity over the 4th of July weekend. Town officials will discuss this ordinance at their town hall meeting this upcoming Friday, July 21st. The Maryland Department of Natural Resources released its fishing report. Here's what it found. The department found bluefish and Spanish mackerel in the lower and middle bays. Recreational crabbing has been good this week in all regions of the bay. Reports say the best crabbing happens in 6 to 10 feet of water. Reef sites along the Atlantic coast have sea bass and a mix of triggerfish and large flounder. Authorities say they've tracked down 40-year-old Andre Longmore today. He was shot and killed during a shootout with police. 3 officers were injured in that shootout. 1 officer taken by life flight to a hospital for treatment. All 3 officers are expected to recover, thankfully. Police say Longmore shot and killed 3 men and 1 woman on Saturday. The motive for that mass shooting is still unclear.
We tragically lost 4 citizens, and this community is grieving. None of us dreamed this day would come. We're thankful that we have achieved the resolution in which no more loss of life occurred.
It was a tip from one brave couple that really turned the tide for law enforcement in Pennsylvania and sealed the fate of Michael Burham, who had been on the run for more than 1 week. Ron and Cindy Euclid are the Warren County residents who, when checking on their barking dog, came face to face with Burham. What was just a normal day for the Euclid family became a day they won't soon forget. The couple says that they were just relaxing on their front porch. Cindy just got home from work when they noticed something peculiar. Their dog Tucker was barking more than usual, so they jumped into their golf cart to check out what was going on in the woods behind their property.
Cindy and I got on the golf cart and started driving down to the creek. And Tucker's still barking, and we get down there and started driving up the edge of the creek. And Cindy gets out of the cart to get the dog, and all of a sudden this guy stands up. And I says, "Whoa, what are you doing?" He says, "Camping." Well, I knew who he was as soon as he stood up and I saw him. And I said, "Cindy, get back in the cart. Let's go." I said, "Okay, have a nice day." And we started driving back. I said, "Dial 911.
Let someone deal with it that knows how to deal with that kind of thing versus trying to be a real hero.
The couple says they aren't heroes and that placing the 911 call is what anyone would have done given the same circumstance. Extreme heat and severe weather are once again gripping the country, and it could get even worse and more dangerous for millions of Americans. Aaron McLaughlin is in Las Vegas, where triple-digit temperatures have become the norm.
For millions living in the West and the South, the dog days of summer are turning out to be downright dangerous, including Las Vegas, where 73-year-old Air Force vet Christopher Malcolm is being treated for third-degree burns.
I sat down on a sidewalk waiting for the bus, and I guess the pavement was hot enough so that I got a burn.
Sin City residents are bracing for what could be an all-time high of 117 degrees this weekend. Across town, an all-out effort to help the most vulnerable. Help of Southern Nevada Outreach Director Lou Lacey used to be homeless himself.
And in life, sometimes it takes rescued people to rescue people.
Arizona's weeks-long hot streak is showing no signs of letting up. Today will mark day 14 of temps over 110 degrees. Phoenix looking to tie its record high of 116 degrees ahead of the weekend. With triple digits hitting the Golden State, Californians are struggling to stay cool. In Death Valley, if the desert region reaches its forecasted 130 degrees, it would be one of the top 5 hottest temperatures ever recorded on Earth. In Texas, the demand for electricity reached its highest point ever.
It's very overwhelming and hot.
And while high temps smother some regions, heavy rains and flash floods are wreaking havoc elsewhere. Vermont is recovering from 2 months worth of rain in just 2 days and bracing for more. More than 200 people there were rescued from floodwaters this week, and there was at least 1 confirmed fatality. A summer deluge for some and sweltering heat for others, posing risks from coast to coast.
Luckily, we are not seeing triple digits here on the coast yet. Hopefully, Alex will tell us it'll stay that way. There's more to cover tonight on Coast TV News at 11. Houses galore. A proposed 79-lot development is in the works near White's Pond in Lewis. And how do locals feel about that? Improvement or chaos? Potential plans to change the traffic flow at a popular intersection in Milford. And lighting up Lewis, the city putting off plans to possibly ban bonfires for the rest of the summer. That's next. Don't go anywhere. We're back in just 60 seconds.
First Alert Weather is our promise to be the first to tell you when big changes are coming in your weather forecast.
Whether it's day-to-day weather that changes your plans,
or severe weather that could change your life.
The First Alert Weather team will call for First Alert Weather Days.
Here on TV and all of your devices.
It's our commitment to give you the most accurate forecast.
The WRDE First Alert Weather Team. That's our promise to you.
A lot happened across Delmarva this week. Coast TV's Madeline Overturf gets you up to speed with top stories in our Week in Review.
The city of Lewis deferred plans to possibly ban bonfires for the rest of the summer. The proposal came after concerns that big bonfires would negatively impact air quality amid lingering smoke. This property next to the BJ's in Millsboro is being razed for development. However, it's in the woods where a colony of over 30 cats have been cared for by community members for the last 4 years. The Sanctuary Town Cats Inc. is working to get the felines trapped and in new homes before the construction scares them away or kills them. It's been a slower than normal start to the season in Rehoboth Beach for local business owners. One restaurant owner says business is down this year by about 20%. Hotel bookings are down too. Record-breaking heat hit Delmarva on Thursday. Parts of the peninsula had heat indexes of up to 105 degrees. Country star and Milton native Jimmy Allen has countersued the 2 women who have accused him of sexual assault. In court documents obtained by Coast TV News, Allen reiterates that his relationships were consensual. Allen is countersuing on emotional distress, defamation, and more. For your Week in Review, I'm Madeline Overturf.
More on Allen. The singer has announced he will be performing in Dewey Beach this fall. The concert will be at Bottle and Cork on September 29th, which comes just days again after Allen's lawyers brought a countersuit against the 2 Jane Does accusing him of sexual assault. Tickets for his concert will go on sale at 10 a.m. next Friday, July 21st. Improvement or chaos? Milford Mayor and City Council recently reviewed some potential plans to change the traffic flow at a popular intersection, along with a few other upgrades. Coast TV reporter Tori Seagraves shows what issues the people of Milford hope possible changes would address.
Changing direction. The city of Milford is looking at major changes to this intersection and surrounding it, like adding a new light. A second light would go just before this one to get rid of this split in the road. Jeffrey Peck has lived in Milford his whole life and says changes like this could cause issues during his commute for work.
I think being careful not to bottleneck things by putting certain lights too close together or that kind of thing. It needs careful consideration.
The plans also indicate more crosswalks. The council even asked for an additional one leading to the Dairy Queen for students that walk here from the high school.
I see them when they let out of school. They come through the yard. A lot of times I watch them as they walk. They are always crossing the street in the middle of the street. So a little safety would definitely be added and wanted.
By the last phase of this project, both Buccaneer Street and Northwest 10th Street could be one way. If these plans were to be approved as they currently are, all three phases of the project could take until the year 2050 to complete.
I'd like to see things probably move faster than that, in some respects, but a big picture goal is good.
Either way, Peck says the project is a step in the right direction.
Now that Mayor and City Council have seen these project plans, those plans will go to DelDOT for further consideration. I'm Tori Seagraves in Milford, Coast TV News.
Coming up on Coast TV News at 11, more possible housing coming to Lewis, how locals feel about the development that might come to the area.
Well, the 90s will be returning to greet us for the start of the week. I'll have your beach forecast coming up just after the break.
All the natural light of the great outdoors, right in your dining room. Shell Brothers, find your great indoors. All the solitude of the outdoors, without the bad Wi-Fi connection. Shell Brothers, find your great indoors.
Transform your outdoor space with Backyard Works. We are Sussex County's one call for all your fence, deck, handrail, pergolas, shower, and trash enclosure needs. Locally owned and operated, we make all our vinyl and aluminum fence right here in Harbison, Delaware, from American-made manufacturers. Cut out the middleman and deal direct. As a TimberTech Platinum deck dealer, our trained team will professionally install your deck that will last a lifetime. Give us a call and let us make your backyard work.
Building a portfolio that gives you opportunities to grow your savings can be a challenge. Our team at Rosemont Wealth Management takes this challenge seriously. Contact us and we can work together on a comprehensive game plan that truly embodies your personal values and life objectives. Our focus is on what is important to you, your family, your lifestyle, your life events, so that you can maintain your lifestyle all the way through retirement. At Rosemont Wealth Management, we serve first, last, and always.
You have a broken window? Buy your glass direct from Go Glass. Infinity Glass Unit is the only double pane insulated glass unit baked on Delmarva, saving you as much as 60% professionally installed. From call to install in 2 weeks in most cases. The Infinity Glass Unit, designed to last a lifetime, and we back that with a lifetime warranty. If you have broken glass or seals, call or visit us online. Go Glass, everything glass, friendly and fast. We're proud to be Delmarva's #1 glass company.
Well, what an absolute soaker parts of Delmarva saw today. We dealt with flash flooding across much of the region. That started early this morning, continued into the evening hours. The good news is things have certainly quieted down this evening, and we're going to remain with these pretty quiet conditions for the next couple of days. Gateway Subaru camera at the Commander Hotel. Gorgeous view looking out towards the pier, towards the amusement park on the pier in Ocean City. Temps sitting right around 74 degrees in OC, and skies now clear. Satellite radar picture, no rain, no clouds in sight, and that is going to be the case for Monday and likely into Tuesday. It's a good thing. We need time to dry out. Take a look at some of these rainfall totals we dealt with, and this blue shading here across southeastern Sussex County into Worcester County, into Wycomico County. 2 inches or greater of rainfall fell across that. This is radar estimated. There were rainfall totals as high as in Bethany Beach, about 4.5 inches. Lesser rainfall totals from a corridor from Millsboro northeast to Lewis, where less than an inch of rain fell, and in many of those spots, less than half an inch of rain fell. But then you get into another heavier band of rain that fell. It was in 2 separate rounds, one early this morning and then one late this afternoon, that resulted in significant flooding from the Bridgeville, Greenwood area, Seaford area, northeast to Milford. That's where as high as 4 inches of rain fell, especially in this purple shading, and then even in this deeper red shading, over 6 inches of rain fell in portions of the region. So some very heavy rainfall was seen over the last 24 hours. That is now gone, and now we're seeing clear skies take over, and that's going to continue to be the case throughout the overnight hours as temps kind of just hover in the mid-70s. Winds, they're going to remain pretty light. Coming out of the west, these westerly winds, well, they're going to keep us on the warmer side heading into Monday. Monday, well, we don't have much to track other than the possibility of some smoke returning to the region from some wildfires out west. 70s to start out the day on Monday. We're in the 90s, especially mid-90s, especially for inland locations Monday afternoon. The beaches will be staying in the 80s, but overall, great weather to spend some time outside. Tuesday, we could see some storms pop up during the afternoon and evening hours, but it's not going to be super widespread, not a huge concern. Temps back into the 90s again on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we're heading up to about 90 degrees. So it's going to be a pretty hot week here on Delmarva. Future smoke, well, here we start to see some of that close to the ground smoke, near ground smoke. So don't be surprised if you smell something that smells like a bonfire outside the next couple of days. We're going to start to see that wildfire smoke move back in. It will be thickest on Tuesday, so keep that in mind. Air quality is not going to be as bad, though, as what we saw during the month of June when this wildfire smoke moved in. We're going to see a lot of sunshine over the upcoming week because those thunderstorms that do form, they're happening during the evening hours. Most of the daytime hours will feature sunshine. So our UV index forecast brought to you by Face of Grace, UV index of 9 Monday through Friday. So don't forget that sunscreen if you're spending time outside. Our Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling 7-day forecast. Well, it's hot, it's humid, and stormy at times this week. Monday, 94, mostly sunny skies. Scattered storms on Tuesday, but mainly during the evening hours with that high around 94 degrees. Low 90s through Friday, and then next weekend, some storms on Saturday, but don't cancel your plans. Storms not going to be too widespread. 90 and mostly sunny on Sunday.
A reminder, you can hear Coast TV news and weather updates throughout the day on our family of radio stations. Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3 FM, on 93.5 The Beach, and on Big 107.7. In your health news tonight, Bob Hope did it. George Burns did too, and Betty White was right on the brink when she passed away. It's not so unusual anymore to live to be 100 years old. And in fact, there are 500,000 people worldwide who are at least 100 years old. By 2050, that number is expected to grow to 3.7 million. And scientists are actually predicting that children born today will, on average, live to be over 120 years old. Can you believe that? What does the future of aging have in store for us?
When 100-year-old Ollie Fowler was born, Warren G. Harding was U.S. president. Milk was 33 cents. You know, it was a simpler time.
We walked and rode bikes, and nobody had cars because nobody had any money.
Ollie met Sid, her husband for 70 years when they were teens on the ice in Canada. Today, Ollie is part of a growing number of centenarians. So why now? What is the future of aging? Epidemiologist Andrea LaCroix is making it her mission to find this out.
Your chronological age is a certain number, whereas our biological age is a measure of how fast we're aging.
Professor LaCroix believes epigenetics is key. Exposures in the environment and everyday stressors can impact your genes, causing some people to live longer than others.
I think there probably are ways to slow down epigenetic age acceleration.
Another area of research, identifying cells that impact metabolism and inflammation. Scientists are exploring whether interventions such as caloric restriction, fasting, exercise, and certain drugs turn back time on those cells and extend life.
We're on our way to finding a biomarker of biological aging that can be measured in the blood and that can help us understand where we are with respect to our aging process over and above our chronological age.
Researchers also want to know how microbiomes living in our bodies impact longevity.
There may be one-day supplements or things that we can take that help us to age slower.
Until then, Ollie says she will stick with what she knows works, surrounding herself with family and lots of love.
You have to kiss each other goodnight every night.
How to live longer.
Ollie says longevity runs in her family. Her father actually lived to be 98 and her mother was 91. She lost Sid 10 years ago. He died at age 91 at home in his bed. Ollie says she drove herself around town until 5 years ago, giving up her car keys at 96. And her last trip was just a few months ago. Ollie missed her grandkids, so she flew to Canada to visit everyone. Coming up on Coast TV News at 11, Capturing Pink Floyd. Details on the documentary now in theaters. That's up next when Coast TV News at 11 returns.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
Enjoy some of the finest wines in Delaware to enhance the ultimate dining experience at Benvenuto, winner of the 2022 Wine Spectator Award. With more than 150 wines to choose from, served by one of the best sommeliers in the region, you can match your exquisite selection from our international menu made with the freshest of local ingredients. Immerse yourself in the ambiance surrounded by breathtaking Tuscan design. Join our exclusive wine club today with private tasting events and great benefits. Benvenuto Restaurant in Milford.
Living a good life means being healthy. But what does it mean to be healthy and stay healthy? It means getting the right kind of care. Right here. And convenient. It means having the right hospital to coordinate the delivery of healthcare for the entire community. Atlantic General Hospital. We'll put you on the right path to good health. And keep you there.
Where are you?
Whether it's a natural disaster or just everyday life's mishaps, Royal Plus brings calm to the chaos. In disaster's wake, there's one call to make. Royal Plus.
Experience expert mechanical service right here at McQueen Classics. From under the hood to the final details, our trained technicians will take your Classic from where it is to where you want it to be. Or if you have an unused gem, we might buy it or help you consign on Bring a Trailer. And if you're in the market for a classic car, we have a huge selection ready to go. Time for the ride of your dreams from McQueen. Behind the new Redners on Route 9 in Lewis.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
A new documentary on the late Syd Barrett and Pink Floyd has kicked off a tour of movie theaters. Rick DeMeglia reports.
Syd Barrett, one of the founding members of Pink Floyd, has died at the age of 60. A statement from the band described him as a guiding light who leaves a legacy which continues to inspire.
The life and legacy of Syd Barrett are explored in the documentary Have You Got It Yet? The story of Syd Barrett and Pink Floyd.
There was a tragedy being played out, partly self-induced, and in the end, it's a tragic tale.
The film traces Barrett's early life, the creation of Pink Floyd, and his isolation after leaving the band, with interviews including surviving Pink Floyd members David Gilmour, Nick Mason, and Roger Waters.
He was one of the most emotionally and intellectually curious people.
I was very fortunate. Everyone around, the Pink Floyd camp
and Roger and his management, they were all very supportive of me. So, in fact, I was able to use everything I wanted to use for the film.
The film's stories include a recounting of Barrett showing up during the mixing of Wish You Were Here, an album inspired in part by him.
The mythological story of him showing up at Abbey Road when they were mixing that down. There's so many kind of important things around that. And just the idea that, you know, as Sid was going more into obscurity and more becoming a kind of cult figure, that Pink Floyd becomes one of the biggest bands in the world.
It was very unusual, very interesting.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
The documentary debuted Friday in New York City and will play in cities across the United States through September. For more information on screenings, visit sidbarrettfilm.com. After the break, here on Coast TV News at 11, the Powerball now at $900 million. Yup, more on that when we return in just a few moments.
Pulling up to a great-looking home is nice. Curb appeal is important. But here on the coast, even more important is dock appeal. At T&G Builders, if you can dream it, we can create it. For uncompromising quality, contact T&G Builders to design and build your coastal dream home. Over 30 years of integrity, empathy, and love. T&G Builders, the sign of quality. Visit us online at tg-builders.com.
How am I gonna sell all these hot tubs? We'll help you, Mark. Well, let's go, boys.
Would this one help our achy backs?
Absolutely.
Is it gonna be easy to take care of?
With our built-in salt system, it'll be a breeze.
Is this gonna bring our stress level down?
It'll help you relax and sleep like a baby.
Can people come try them out?
Why not? No.
Yeah.
Come see us today.
Pinnacle team was awesome. I was impressed how that was. I mean, the big machines they had.
The floor looks great. It's brighter. It brightens up the room a lot. It's, you know, the grit in the floor, it helps with us responding to the, you know, getting to our lockers. You know, usually we come running through here and everything like that. The Pinnacle team was really great. They were professional. They were, you know, very honest. They wanted to get us done and they got us done on time. Pinnacle was amazing and we absolutely love the floor.
Pinnacle Concrete Coatings, because quality matters.
Are you troubled by strange smells, uncomfortable rooms, or mold in your home?
Do you experience feelings of dread when you enter your crawl space or attic?
Does your home suffer from slopes, sags, or other structural concerns? If the answer is yes, pick up your phone and call the home performance professionals like FLC Energy.
Don't just treat the systems in your house. Treat your house as the system and call FLC.
We're ready to believe you.
Pain and immobility take you away from everything you love to do. That's why at PAM Health Rehabilitation Hospital of Georgetown, our focus is to rebuild your life by providing high-quality, post-acute care to those who suffered from serious injuries or illness. With state-of-the-art facilities, advanced robotics, highly trained professionals, and the highest level of rehabilitation care. It's all about gains. Gain your movement, gain your independence, gain your life back. PAM Health Rehabilitation Hospital of Georgetown.
The Powerball jackpot is getting bigger once again. No one won yesterday's drawing for the $875 million prize. Monday will be your next chance to claim the prize. An estimated $900 million. It might be worth getting a ticket. This would be the third largest Powerball jackpot ever. Checking in now with Alex on our final weather forecast. Alex, I don't see us hitting the triple digits there next week.
Yeah, not hitting the triple digits, but the heat index will rise above the triple digits, so certainly keep that in mind, especially on Tuesday. The heat and humidity going to be pretty impressive out there. This evening, looking pretty comfortable, though, on our Gateway Subaru camera at the Commander Hotel. Temp sitting right around 74 degrees. Be aware we may see some fog develop overnight. That's due to the fact that we have all that moisture in the ground that all has to evaporate out. So don't be surprised to wake up to some fog in the morning. But most of the day will feature sunshine on Monday. Fishing forecast, lots of sunshine most of the day. Temps climbing low to mid 90s. Humidity won't be as high tomorrow as it will be on Tuesday, but still the heat index will rise to about 95 to about 98 degrees tomorrow afternoon. 94 on Tuesday, a few scattered storms, and then we stay in the 90s through Friday. More storms possible on Saturday. Not a washout, so don't cancel any of those beach plans. We stay in the 90s into the following week.
Thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. Game Time with Boomer is up next. We'll see you tomorrow morning for Coast TV News Today starting at 5 a.m. Have a wonderful night.